Sara Dady is back with us tonight. It's almost tax time, or it is tax time. It's tax season. We're talking about immigrants and taxes. Thanks for coming in.
Well, thanks for having me, Michelle. Yeah, it's almost tax time, so I thought we'd talk about some myths about immigrants and taxes.
Because I think a lot of people have beliefs that are probably just based on what they heard somewhere, and they don't actually know what's going on.
There's definitely this idea that undocumented immigrants, which again, undocumented immigrants only make up less than 4% of total U.S. population.
Okay.
But for some reason, we spend 90% of our time talking about immigration, talking about 3.5% of the population. But there's this idea that undocumented immigrants don't pay taxes, because who would want to pay taxes if you don't have to, right? Well, the truth is that undocumented immigrants do pay taxes.
Okay. So how does that work then?
Okay, so undocumented immigrants, people who come in without permission or overstay their visas, don't have social security numbers.
Right.
And typically we all pay our taxes using our social security number. So the IRS has decided that they're going to create a special identification number for people who don't have social security numbers, because the IRS doesn't care how you earn your money, if you're authorized to work or not authorized. They just want you to report your taxes. So the IRS very helpfully has come up with something called an individual taxpayer identification number.
Okay.
It's called an ITIN number, and it's not just for undocumented workers. We have people here on employment visas or even permanent residents, so green card holders, who have spouses and children that don't live in the United States, so they want to claim them as dependents on their taxes here. So they can do that using an ITIN number.
Okay, see, I didn't know that, because this is your field of study.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting. You're here with a green card, you're a permanent resident, but your spouse and your children don't live in the U.S.
Sure.
You can't get them social security numbers because they don't live here.
Yeah, but you still want to claim them, because obviously
you're
your
providing
money,
over 50% of their support. You absolutely want to claim them on your taxes.
Okay, so is that that's easy for someone to get through their employer? Or
is anything easy with the IRS? No. But there is a form. People have to submit proof of their identification, and they have to do it every single year.
Okay.
But yeah, they can file taxes with an ITIN, which is how we know how much in state and federal taxes undocumented immigrants pay, because they file ITIN returns.
Sure. And that is important to think about, because when we're talking about ways for these people to become citizens, that makes a difference, right? Don't we want to know that?
Well, Congress is going to have to give people a legalization path. One doesn't currently exist. We have people who have been living and working undocumented in the United States for decades, who never had a way to come here lawfully, still do not have a way. So that's a problem Congress will need to fix.
Sure.
But in the meantime, we know that undocumented immigrants pay about $11 billion per year in federal tax returns.
And that's a lot of money.
That's not even including the $13 billion a year they pay into Social Security and Medicare taxes through their work, through their payroll taxes.
And here in Illinois, it looks like there's a lot of money that's getting paid.
Yes. Illinois has a significant undocumented population in the U.S. We have just around 400,000 at this time, and they currently pay $758 million a year in state income taxes. Now, what's really interesting is that if they were able to legalize their status and obtain a Social Security number and live life normally, we would see an increase in their income tax revenues to the state of Illinois of an additional $158 million.
Wow.
Which is almost $1 billion in tax revenues just from the state of Illinois, just from the people who are already living and working here as our friends, our neighbors, our coworkers, if they had a way to apply for legal status.
That is a lot of money. That could maybe someday, right?
Yeah. That would make the rest of us feel better when we pay our taxes, if everybody was paying their taxes.
Yeah. You can get in touch with Sara. There's a bunch of different ways to contact her, and you can scan your phone camera right there on the right side of your screen if you want to just get taken with that flow code. It's pretty magical, actually.
It's very magic.
Thanks for coming in, Sarah. Coming up next, our friends from Rockford Career College are talking about what it's like to be a student there. And then, I know you saw this in the green room, we're making shots with Kelly Ritchell and Q98.5. We'll be right back.